sometimes the GCF, the greatest common factor, is negative. Now, let's talk about what that means and why that would be, right? Because you're going to see it's kind of a decision you have to make if you're going to make it negative. So let me just show you in an example. So let's say I have something like this. Oops. Okay. So hopefully you look at this and you say, okay, let's see, 5, 10, and 15, those are all divisible by 5. And there's 3x's, 2x's, and 1x. So my greatest common factor is 5x here. Now, that's not wrong. That's true. The greatest common factor is 5x. But here's the thing. This first term, we really want that first term to be positive. It's going to be really important for what comes next that this term is positive. So how could I make that term positive? Well, if I factor out a 5x, this will be negative x squared plus 10x plus 2x minus 3. But I want this to be positive. So the way that I do that is instead of taking out 5x, I take out a negative 5x. Okay, so now when I go ahead and sort of divide each one, right? This is negative divided by negative, that's positive, right? And what I'm left with here is x squared. Now here, this is positive 10 divided by negative 5. That's negative 2, right? Positive divided by negative is a negative. And here I have 2 x's and I'm dividing by 1x, so I'm left with just 1x left. And this is a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then x divided by x, those two cancel out. So that is what I'm left with. Okay, and notice what I have here is a positive first term, a positive leading term, and that's really important. Okay, in fact, it's so important that if you get something like this down the line, where in fact you could look at this and say, well, there is no greatest common factor. This is a 1, a 4, and a 5, right? There's the greatest common factor is just 1 there, which doesn't make sense to take out. There's no x's here, so I can't take out an x. So you could look at this and say, well, it's already factored. I can't take out anything. But what you're going to see is that it's so important that this front number is positive for what we do next, that if you see something like this, what you'll do is you'll factor out a negative 1. So here I'm just, and that all that does is really change the sign, right? This is negative divided by negative is positive. This becomes positive. Positive divided by negative becomes negative. And negative divided by negative becomes positive. Okay? So we're just adding on to what we previously learned about GCF, but if we notice that this first term is negative, then we take out a negative GCF because our goal is that this is always, always, always positive.